Awesome.
Thank you, Richard.
You're welcome. Richard, you just missed out on the YouTube. Say hi, Richard.
Say hi. This is
Hello.
YouTube Live. Isn't that what this is? YouTube?
Yes. Okay, go live again.
Do we have any more questions?
None at the moment.
None
Okay.
at the moment.
Yeah.
All right, Richard. So now we got that Facebook Live going. See you then. Good. So this is the YouTube, that's Facebook, and that's Instagram. Instagram has been running for a little while, but Facebook and YouTube are good to go. We'll just do a recap. The Rooibos, we had, I think it was Susanna. Susanna was the one who mentioned, did you see the comments below in the last video?
I don't remember the name.
Oh, okay.
I did see the comments.
Yeah. People on Facebook Live and on YouTube, please leave a comment below. Alexis, who was in the video earlier, she's going to be doing a little commentary about public health. She has her degree in health education, teaching credential in health science. But getting back to the Rooibos, this is it right here. Did you want to
Let me hold it?
Yeah.
Oh, to recap?
Yeah.
So just to recap, I would just mention that this is a Rooibos. I mentioned that I have a good friend that would oftentimes see bruising, bruise really easily, whether it be household chores, duties, light stuff, or just, appear randomly. So one thing that really helped, she also has a mineral deficiency. I love the Rooibos because it's super mineral rich, but that's kind of why I recommended it to her. She started drinking the Rooibos regularly. It seemed to really help with her mineral deficiencies as well as reducing the bruising and, how she bruises, whether it be bumping into stuff, all that. So she really diminished the bruising and it seemed to really help her. And she seemed to notice a lot of benefits from, just drinking the tea. And it's really easy. Just brew a cup of tea and you get a lot of minerals from it.
There you go. So I think it's this week, or actually next week, we're going to be sending out our Tea Club of the Month. If you are a member of the Tea Club of the Month, you're going to be getting the boxes of, I think it's going to be our Holy Detox, Rose petals, Stevia,
and I think Pinhead Gunpowder.
Pinhead Gunpowder.
Nice little burst of energy.
There you go. Richard's actually packaging in another room right now. You see his gloves. That guy's awesome. So we have the floor open. The YouTube's here. Facebook. Kyle, did you get the Facebook Live?
Yeah.
Can you hear any comments or questions?
No, not yet. We just started.
Okay. So Instagram.
Comments.
No comments. Jalissa, what was the question about the Rooibos? Oh, no, it's elderberry.
Do we sell any teas with elderberry?
Yeah, so we have our immunity elixir that people use. That is people ask all the time. Kaylee, you've heard this. Like, why don't we add elderberries to our immunity elixir? And the reason why is because immunity elixir is all herbs, and elderberries are fruit. And fruits, the shelf life isn't very good. I mean, comparatively. They have to be sprayed with pesticides or they go moldy. Even especially like after like nine months, they're just not as good. And Zen Tea House, like we push our elderberries out really quickly, and so it's always fresh. Well, right now, like all the elderberries that are left, I mean, elderberries are in very short supply. So like pretty much all the elderberries that were up and running, or all the elderberries that were in stock, they just disappeared. And we can only harvest elderberries so much at a time. The immunity elixir lasts much longer. What was the question?
Amy Manta commented, I would like some tea.
Amy. www.zenstea.com. You say something?
Our elderberries are organic.
No, I know, but a lot of are. Can you give me a sample of the organic elderberries? Lex, they're over there.
In the box, under the table.
Anyways, if I didn't ruin it, there's a reason why I don't do sales. It's because I stick my foot in my mouth all the time. Ironically, I'm the guy who does the videos. These elderberries, there's only so much that gets produced every year. Fruits don't last as long, and the bioavailability, the nutrients, isn't as potent as a lot of the herbs. And that's why you have like herbs like Rooibos. What are some of the benefits it has?
rich in zinc, magnesium, potassium, calcium, manganese, CoQ10. So it's really mineral rich, anti-inflammatory.
Yeah, it's got like pretty much all the benefits that you want in elderberries, and it doesn't like it's not a fruit, it's an herb. It comes from the African red bush. It's related to the honey bush. So it's still kind of sweet. But I mean, honestly, we have a bunch of different herbs. Elderberries has never been top of my list, and that's just my preference.
I like the elderberries because then you can I don't like them mixed in with the tea, but they're nice. They're really small. You can just add a few to the tea that you're brewing. So that if you see them, they're really small. You just need a few little berries to add it to your tea. You can really add it to really anything you like, but it's easier that way, I think, rather than being mixed in a large amount of tea.
Yeah, and I'm just kind of weird like that. That's just how we are. Any other questions?
What tea is recommended for inflammation? She has sciatica pain.
So do we make any recommendations here, Kaylee?
I have recommendations. It's not. What's the word?
Called a health claim?
Not a health claim. Steer clear of health claims. But I know based on like testimonials and just benefits of the herbs themselves or what they've been traditionally used for, that's kind of the route that I go. Golden milk's really good. Can I tell a little story?
Please do.
Okay, so I actually have scoliosis and 4 bulging discs in my lower back. So I get a lot of inflammation throughout my spine, which that can, stem out your spine. It's attached and it goes to the nerves to your entire body. So if you have inflammation and like pinched nerves like me, it's really important to kind of do things to reduce the inflammation and take care of that stuff. So for me, I find, I do some exercises, but I do like to add the golden milk too. I'll throw it into a protein shake that I make, and sometimes coffee. I still like coffee every now and then. But for the most part, I find myself throwing it into a protein shake, and it's nice because you can mix it really into anything you like. Most of our customers will mix it into vanilla almond milk or a different milk or milk alternative, prepare it hot or cold. So that would be the one that I would personally recommend for you to try. Do we have any more questions?
Rosa asked, is the golden milk good for sciatica nerve? I mean, you know.
It would be more for, it can be beneficial for inflammation, but, it would be a suggestion to kind of, or I guess how it's helped me would be that reducing the inflammation can really help with, the tension and the nerve pain from the other areas. It's what I found for myself.
One of the things about sciatica is so things like stress play a huge part. And one thing that I think we've seen in almost every person coming into Zen's Tea House worried about the coronavirus, the COVID-19, is they're stressed out. Sciatica nerves, I want just to say sciatica nerves, but just like back pain, wrist pain, arthritis, upset stomach, all those things get amplified with stress. Because really one of the things that I take more of a holistic approach. People who are looking for a solution to sciatica, what was the question that they asked?
Sciatic nerve.
Sciatic nerves. It could be, you can see a chiropractor, you can see an acupuncturist. That isn't always available. There was a person who had some nerve pain in their tooth. Monica via Rose, I think she was on our Facebook. She did Facebook Live, and we actually added to our Facebook page. And she used the turmeric and the ginger. Both of those carry anti-inflammatory properties. So although I don't want to say, or I'm not going to say that, hey, if you have sciatica, this is what you want to take. Take a look. The research is there. And
I think we have like a lot of testimonials that mention stuff similar to that right. She could take a look at as well.
And then also understand just where we're coming from. We don't want to say this is what you need if you have a problem with X, Y, or Z. Alexis is going to be here in a minute. she'll tell you a lot more about health. I mean, it's what she went to school for. But one of the negative connotations that we have, or perceptions, misconceptions, is, hey, I'm sick. This elderberries is going to it's going to solve my problem. It's not how it works. Oh, I have a sore throat. If I just drink more tea, that's going to serve it. No, it's holistic. You have to look at the mind, the body, the heart, every part of the body, your diet, your sleep. So any more other questions? I know.
What about inflammation of the intestine?
The golden milk's good for body-wide inflammation, or can be good for body-wide inflammation. I think personally, I'd recommend the consistency would be the key to help to, what I found really helps to reduce my inflammation.
People can consume golden milk. There's like ingredients for golden milk pancakes. One of the things that Alexis does, she's my wife, by the way, she's going to come in, is she puts it in her yogurt. Right? It's yogurt, Greek yogurt.
I've done that. I've also done chia seed pudding.
Chia, yeah, that's
A lot of
expensive.
people, the overnight oats and sprinkle it on top of oatmeal. It's wild.
Yeah. What's it called? Shakes people make?
Protein shakes.
Smoothies. Smoothies. Yeah. Actually, the woman who did Monica, she was like, so I got the golden milk and a little bit of vodka and I was cleaned up. Don't believe me? Like, take a look. It was posted today. It's true. It's testimonial. All right. Alexis is laughing. Let's get her up front. You have any questions? Any comments?
I don't think
Anything
so.
you want to say? There was something. There was a joke, right?
I can't remember how it was said. There's something about a camera and how it adds 10 pounds.
That was Jake's joke.
That one?
Yeah, Jake's. All right.
Oh, man. Okay. Alexis, are you ready?
Lex. All right, ready to take the stage?
They're going to be away.
I'll be right behind you. It's my favorite place to be.
Yeah.
You a little closer?
Are you going to stand by me?
Yep. No, keep closer.
Close enough, right? Okay. Yeah. So what did you want me to?
We're talking about the bell curve of the coronavirus and what.
Yeah. So with this coronavirus and everything that's going around with that, or all of the the things that are being implementations, all of the guidelines and everything that they're trying to. Where do you want me to look? Up here?
This one.
Okay. All the guidelines that they're implementing.
I'm so sorry.
So like a lot of people are really freaking out about the coronavirus. And that's something that's, it's a lot like a child with children. If a child sees, say, a spider and they're totally fine with it, and maybe they're picking it up and, they're fine. And then the parents flip out, then the child is going to start crying. They're going to start flipping out. They're going to internalize, oh, I guess I have to be afraid of this spider. And so a lot of times other people's fear is really what drives the rest of some people's fear is really what drives other people's fear, right? And that just kind of creates this snowball effect. And so that's a lot of what we're seeing right now. It's also really important to, when you're taking a step back and sort of observing, okay, what's happening? Like what's really happening? What's going on? What is the government trying to do? And you guys can look this up. These are articles and different things that are published. And so there's a bell curve, and it's how you're making me nervous.
Oh, go on.
And it's has to do with the amount of people that are going to be getting sick. And so if everyone is getting sick at one time, you get this bell curve that kind of goes straight up and then straight down. And the length of time that the sickness is going to be going for, or the virus, the disease, is going to be shorter, but it's going to kind of all be all at once. So what they're trying to do right now is to flatten that curve. There's still going to be a curve. There's still theoretically going to be the same amount of people who are getting sick, but it's not going to be all at once. The amount of people are going to be distributed over time. So that's not going to cause as much of an issue with our healthcare, with the hospitals. I've heard it likened to, say there's one restroom and just a few stalls in this restroom in a workplace, and everyone all of a sudden has to use the restroom. Well, you're going to run out of stalls. There's going to be all kinds of things that happen and pandemonium that's going on because of that. But if everyone has to use the restroom, but spread out throughout the day, then you're not going to have a problem with that. And so they're trying to flatten the curve to help to prevent problems like that from occurring. And yeah, fear is a great motivator. And
Fear is a great motivator.
Fear is a great motivator. It's true. But fear can be taken overboard. And so, everyone really, just kind of freaking out. I mean, go to the store, go anywhere, you really see this. And that causes a lot more issues than if everyone is just kind of on board and cooperative and, okay, I see what's going on. This does take all of us. We all have a part to play. We all have a part to play in helping to lessen and helping to flatten that bell curve. And so, we should all be practicing social distancing. We should be taking, the government at their word, taking the public health department at what they're telling us to do, these guidelines. This is something that we've seen in the past, not in any of our pasts.
You said back in was like the
like
Spanish
1918, flu? Yeah, the Spanish flu in 1918, I believe it was, and they implemented a lot of these same guidelines, closing schools, going for social distancing, and you have in, I believe it was Philadelphia,
and Pennsylvania.
Or Philadelphia and St. Louis. And in Philadelphia, they didn't implement all of these things. And so their rates of illness, the rate of death, of illness, was just way high. And then you have St. Louis, and they did implement effectively all of these strategies, and their rates were much, much lower. And so we're able to look at those now, looking back, and we're able to see, this place, they did implement those, and this place they didn't. And so we can see, well, that does help, right? And so that's what they're trying to do now. And we do all have a part in it. We all have to be on board in order for this to be fully effective.
I like to comment on that, just because to be on board doesn't mean sharing scary news.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be really easy for Zen's Tea House to start using social media or emails saying, if you be afraid, got to stock up on your golden milk, you need your Rooibos, elderberries, it's about to sell out, you need to buy now, it's going like toilet paper. We could totally be using that as a sales technique. And if you've ever listened to an insurance person tell you, there's fear. A lot of businesses use fear. A lot of government officials using fear right now. And the CDC is one of the biggest voices. I don't want to say they're promoting fear, but it's how it's communicated. The World Health Organization, the WHO, which is one of my favorite organizations, are the world's leading expert. They have more credentials than the World Health Organization. Than the CDC. So anyways, these are some comments. We wanted to be able to provide a platform. It was supposed to be hearing your stories. Mm-hmm. Of course, anytime you have questions about teas and their benefits or the quality of the herbs, you can come call us or email or comment below. But one of the things the main objective for us doing this video is to, number one, provide content saying that there are more solutions than just washing hands and keeping social distance. In fact, Jalissa, can you get a little closer? If someone can watch 30 minutes into this, this is the key part. Okay, ready for it? It's the key part. The best way to fight a cold, a virus, a disease is prevention. I'll say that again. The best way to combat any illness is prevention. And one of the ways is by making sure that the quality of your nutrition, sleep, proper healthy lifestyles. We have this YouTube video on healthy lifestyles. It was a couple years ago, and we did it because all these health fads, we had doctors, I'm not going to mention any doctor, doctors on TV shows. They make a living off of views, not off of helping people. That could be argued because they're helping people through views. But anyways, hope this was informative. I hope that we use this. If you like the comments, if you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. You can always comment below. You could also email us at info@zenstea.com. And if you didn't know, we're almost done with our promo code Immunity Elixir. Immunity.
Are we almost out?
Yeah, we're pretty much out. So
get your immunity elixir.
Oh, and the golden milk right now is on sale.
Yes.
Awesome. Any questions, Jalissa? Thomas, do we still have people viewing after 30 minutes?
Yeah.
Kyle, any questions?
No question.
Awesome.
Great job, guys. Love you. Andrea Mont.
All right. That's it on the YouTube. That's it on Instagram.